Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I happen to have a review here for a movie that I've wanted to see forever. I cannot believe that it came out in 2016, because that's almost 10 years ago. It's closer to like 7, but you know what I mean. It's 2023 right now. 2 more years, this thing is going to be 10 years old, which is crazy. I've been missing it for that long. I think it just showed up on Tubi or Prime or something the other day, and I finally watched it on Halloween night of all nights. Because I just saw it and I was excited. I've been wanting to I keep thinking about this movie. I've wanted to see it forever. Anyway, it's a 2-hour-long film you may have heard of called The Founder, starring Michael Keaton. It's about McDonald's, and basically around the time where they had already been a local success story. And Michael Keaton plays a man, by the way, this is based on a true story, in case you don't know. He plays the guy who came in and basically became another co-owner of the company with the McDonald's brothers, played by Nick Offerman and the fucking Zodiac Killer from the Zodiac movie. What's that guy's name? Let's see. John Carroll Lynch. How could I forget him? He seems like a sweet man. But anyway, Nick Offerman. Ron Swanson is in this as well, as the McDonald brothers. Michael Keaton's coming in basically playing the guy who helped turn McDonald's into a worldwide franchise. And the story is filled with just scummy shit, like stabbing people in the back, ripping off families, ripping off people, trying to gain power in a company that clearly could get success based on the story of what these two men developed for their system for fast food. This is apparently the origin of fast food. Never knew that. I never, ever knew anything about that. I only went into this film knowing about McDonald's being a thing, that I love McDonald's, I love their burgers, their fries, doesn't matter what it is, I love it. And I grew up on it quite a bit because of the 90s, and as you can tell, I'm chubby, so what do you expect? But I went into this knowing absolutely nothing. Being almost 10 years down the road, I was away from all the hype, and I still wanted to see it because it's Michael Keaton. I love that man. It looked like a well-made film. It's actually written by the guy who brought us The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, and so I was interested quite a bit with this movie. I don't know if it won any like Academy Awards or anything. It totally deserved it, because I'll tell you, from beginning to end of this movie, despite how I think it won't hold up as well in a rewatch, but a lot of biopics, whatever you call that shit, kind of have the same issue. I don't know how this would hold up on a rewatch, but as a first time ever watch, this was a total fantastic movie. I had a blast watching this. It was so engaging. Not once did I want to look away. I will say that the directing is a little weak on this film. Being based on a true story, I kind of expected more. Again, Mickey Rourke's The Wrestler was way more advanced in its directing style, and I thought that was fantastic from that particular man who made things like The Whale, and so on and so on. But The Founder was so much more interesting than you ever would have thought it would have been. Remember back in the day when people said that about Social Network, when that movie came out, starring Jesse Eisenberg, the David Fincher film about Facebook? People would tell you constantly, dude, you've got to see this. It's a phenomenal movie. You would not believe how engaging the story is. And they were 100% right. The Social Network might be one of the best like true stories told to film ever made, in my personal opinion. And this is one right up behind it, in my personal opinion. Also, with that being said, here's a big-ass asterisk you'll usually see in these kind of based-on-a-true-story movie reviews from me, when they very rarely happen, because I don't really watch this kind of thing too commonly. I don't know how much is true or false. I care about that in one part of my brain. On the other hand, I want to be entertained, so I don't know what's here that's not really in reality. Doesn't really matter. I'm talking about the movie for me, but I wish it was more completely focused in reality. But anyway, this was super fantastic and engaging. I love that. If the directing and the camera work and stuff were a little bit lesser than what they should have been, I think. But how much can you do with a fucking true story based around McDonald's? I mean, really? Really? Is that really a fair nitpick? Kinda not. So my brain is going back and forth on what to think about that. There's not really much of like a soundtrack to it or like a score. I don't really have much to claim about that category. There are no practical effects, obviously, for my listing here. The cinematography looks good. These sets and whatever take place in the 50s, and it looks like it. By the time the film ends, we're like in the 70s or 80s, something like that. We don't do too much with those, but in the time where most of the movie's set with the 50s and 60s, it's beautiful. They did a great job recreating neighborhoods and just the way they had people dress and whatever. They did a solid job with all of that, in my personal opinion. And I really was into this, more than I ever thought I would be. I think most people would be surprised, again, like the Social Network syndrome, of how engaging this movie is. You would never expect that, and I feel like anybody who would come to my channel, this would probably be the last review they would watch, knowing how I'm a big horror fan and whatever. This is probably the last review you give a shit about hearing my opinion from, but let me tell you, almost 10 years down the road, if you have not seen this and you want to, you should. It's one of those things, it was amazingly character-driven. The performances are phenomenal, again, from Michael Keaton, mainly Nick Offerman being kind of the forefront, being one of the McDonald's brothers, the other fellow being the other brother, watching their relationship work, how they relate and work with Michael Keaton, and kind of him being an asshole most of the time, and how he just wants to advance his life. There were so many good things in here, and the cast was just amazing. There's so many other names you'll know, from other things like Jurassic Park, for example, that are in this movie, that you will probably enjoy. All that being said, though, I really had a good time with this movie. I was surprised, and again, it surprised me too that I watched Death Spa, and then I put this on Halloween night. So that should tell you everything you need to know. It was like Halloween, Death Spa, and then this, because I wanted to change things up, and I saw it pop up, and I had a blast. So, would I recommend The Founder? Absolutely. If you've not seen The Founder, you are 1000% missing out. A 2-hour time frame that just zoomed by on Halloween night. What a blast, man. Anyway, if I had to rate the film The Founder on a 5-star basis, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 5 stars, man. A fantastic movie. Again, future rewatches, like many of these types of things, might not be as engaging or as good. You probably won't care as much. That's fair. But this was really, really cool, and I really enjoyed it quite a bit, and I definitely recommend it. Anyway, have you seen The Founder? What do you think about it, guys? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments about it down in the comment section down below. This movie made me so sad by the end of it, because I just felt for these characters that were involved, specifically the McDonald's brothers and what they dealt with by the end of this movie. What a great flick, man. Really, truly. And you might wonder how I could say all that, too. What I just said about the brothers, dude, this movie, they went through so much shit, and if this is anything like real life, my heart goes out to them. Anyway, what do you think? Put your thoughts and comments down below. Happy Thanksgiving, guys, because that's the next thing coming up down the calendar, I guess, for holidays. God bless you all. Have a good one. Goodbye.